Okay, folks, we are back. Episode 30 of Street to Strategy. Jesus, man, I can't believe it. It's gone quick. Last episode with Scott was phenomenal. We had a deputy that was killed recently, and I wouldn't feel right unless I did this, but I got to read something to you folks. In honor of Deputy Randy Hoppert, a man who wore the badge not for recognition, but for service, for courage, for others. At just 35 years old, with 6 years of faithful dedication to the Tulare County Sheriff's Office, he stood the line between chaos and peace, answering a call few are brave enough to carry. His life was not measured in years alone, but in the lives he touched, the community he protected, and the quiet strength he showed each day to put on that uniform. Through his watch has ended, his legacy is not. It lives on in every act of courage, in every oath taken, and every heart that refuses to forget. May we honor him not only in mourning, but in how we choose to live, with courage in the face of fear, with service before self, and with commitment to stand for what is right. Rest easy, sheepdog. Your sacrifice will never be forgotten. God bless his memory. Folks, I also wanted to let you guys know, I got some black eyes. I had some blepharoplasty done, so we'll get through it. Show must go on. Good news, 1,000 subscribers last week. I finally hit 1,000. I would be remiss without giving some thank yous. Phil Myers, Stephen Darling, Mike Stevens, Gino Garcia, Marco Urenga, and last but not least, my loving wife, Laura McWilliams. I think you guys all saw the commercial with Vinny last week. If you guys would like to do a commercial on the podcast, reach out to me. You can contact me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Let's get you on. Next, my first book is on Amazon. Welcome to the Show That Never Ends. My second book will be out in June, so we're making some big moves. All right. Today I have two guests. Let me give my first one an intro. Some stories are written on paper, and some are written in the valleys of real life. In moments of loss, in seasons of doubt, and in the quiet places where faith is all that remains. Today's guest is someone who has made it her calling to tell those stories with honesty, courage, and an unshakable belief in the redemptive power of God. She's an author, speaker, and a founder of Valley Grace Publishing, an independent publisher dedicated to faith-centered storytelling and narratives that carry meaning far beyond the page. Her work focuses on resilience, healing, and the truth that even in life's darkest chapters, redemption is still possible. She is the author of Get Up, the story of one woman's journey and the God who wouldn't let go, a powerful memoir based on the life of her cousin. The book follows a journey marked by childhood trauma, the heartbreaking loss of a daughter in a tragic accident, and the diagnosis of stage 4 colon cancer. But this is not simply a story about suffering. It is a story about endurance, faith, and the grace of God that refuses to let go, even when life feels impossible. What makes her voice so compelling is that she's not just an author of this story, she lived beside it. As both the writer and the witness, she brings a deeply personal perspective to the message she shares, offering hope to anyone walking through grief, loss, or seasons they never expected to face. This is LaVonne Chastain. We're also lucky enough to have her cousin and the subject of her book in the studio. Their journey has brought them to my table. Let me give her cousin an introduction. Some stories are marked by comfort and ease, but the ones that truly move us are forged in the fire of adversity. Today's guest is a woman who has walked through some of life's darkest valleys and come out the other side with unshakable faith and purpose. She is a survivor, a mother, and a woman whose life became the foundation for the memoir Get Up. After enduring a profound loss, devastating illness, and seasons that have broken most, she chose to stand, to believe, to fight, and to keep going. Today, she dedicates her life to encourage others facing serious illness, offering something many people lose in the struggle: hope. Her story is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, healing and restoration are still possible. This is Gaylynn Kapri. Both you ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Ladies, man, just getting through that is a struggle. Well, what I'm going to do is I kind of want to start with you.
Sure.
And then we're going to transition to you.
It's perfect. That's how I like to do it.
Who are you at your core beyond the titles, the roles, and the accomplishments that you've done?
That's a great question. Great introductory question. I think of myself as both a woman of God, woman of faith, mother, wife, grandmother. I have 6 beautiful grandchildren. At my core, though, and I say this in the book, I reference our upbringings as cousins. My father taught us at a very young age that faith and family always came first. And so that really is who I am at my core.
Awesome. That's a great answer, by the way.
She always does.
What kind of upbringing shaped your faith and worldview?
Oh, I love that question because it always goes back to my dad, who was my stepfather. Again, it's mentioned in the book. He raised us. He prayed over us. He was a wonderful Christian man. But my stepfather, so he came into my life when I was about 3 years old and married my mother. And I had step brother and sister, so it was a blended family.
Okay.
But because of our being blended and just living together, he was really the rock of our family, made sure that we all went to church regardless. Kicking and screaming, he would drag us to church. But he really was the one who gave me my work ethic and, as I mentioned, just the whole mantra of living by faith. Faith and family first, always.
What early life experiences most influence the person you've become?
So I think going back to my childhood and having so many brothers and sisters around, I was the youngest of all of them, including
How many kids total?
If you count everybody, there were 6.
Okay.
But 3 were way older than me. But then I had a stepbrother and stepsister that we were raised together, and then an older sister. So I was the youngest, very quiet. I mentioned this in the book that I talk about because I had so many brothers and sisters around me. Anytime we were in public, they did the talking for me. I didn't have to speak. And I actually, if I had been in school today, I would have been labeled a selective mute.
Wow.
Because I know this, because I was in education.
Yeah.
And I met children in today's education system that had been labeled, and I was exactly like them.
Wow.
I didn't speak at all in public until I was in 6th grade.
Wow.
And had a teacher that forced me to talk to her. But at home, to be perfectly honest, I was very strong-willed from a young age.
Yeah.
So I think those are some of the things that shaped me and helped me become who I was. And because of my father being the rock that he was also a quiet man. He allowed all of us to just find our voice on our own time and helped shape that with us. So I think that's what helped me.
Awesome. When did you first realize that stories have the power to change lives?
Oh, very early on.
Me too.
Very early on.
Yeah. I'm a master storyteller. So, I'm with you. It's interesting. I apologize for being so emotional, but
No apology needed.
But I could tell you this: telling stories saved my life in law enforcement because I could laugh and I could get all this trauma out of me because I saw the worst of humanity. I truly did, and I realize now that me being able to laugh and tell stories was it truly did. It helped me. It really did. Here's one. What drew you specifically to telling real, faith-centered stories?
Well, to be perfectly honest, storytelling came very natural to me as a young child, but it was because I was able to boss all my siblings around, and I would make them sit, and I would tell them what to do and what to say.
To this day, still doing it.
So that started off really early, and then as I grew and found my own voice, and writing became very natural to me, I took that skill and moved it into education and became a teacher. But just being able to, I taught elementary for a long time, elementary and middle school, and then became an administrator.
Oh, good for you. You know what? I just got this last summer, I got a master's in education and a teaching credential.
Oh, good for you.
But by the end of it, you know what I realized?
You don't want to teach.
I don't want to teach. I don't want to teach. Too much cop in me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Before writing Get Up, what prepared you emotionally for this journey? Because I could tell you this. You're writing about very emotionally charged things. And so not everybody can do that. I just finished my book, and I've got 6 chapters I wrote that by the end of them, I was bawling my eyes out.
Well, my cousin will be the first to say I'm not an overly emotional person.
You can't get her to cry.
But that, I think God has us together, obviously, for a reason. We're in the same family for a reason.
For sure.
And so we balance each other out in that area. And I think what prepared me to write the story was just living beside her and walking through almost every single tragedy, every single hurt with her, and watching how God unfolded in her life. And so just being there and being a firsthand witness to it all helped me realize that God had given me a gift of writing, and then being next to her and being by her side through it all.
Well, just in the little bit of research I did, I'll just say this to both of you ladies. You ladies are warriors.
Thank
just
you.
Are.
Thank you.
How did your faith evolve before, during, and after writing this book? Because writing books is very cathartic.
Sure.
It's very healing. Yeah. And so how did that, from beginning in, how did that kind of transition?
For me, it was more about watching the transformation of Gaylynn and watching how God was using her throughout her life and helping her to see the worth that she really does have in God. But for my own self, because of my upbringing in a Christian home, I had a very strong faith at a young age. And leaning on that was all I had in her most horrific times. And so many times, especially in the book, in the opener, I talk about her cancer surgery and sitting in the waiting room. That was very difficult for me.
I can only imagine.
It was so, so difficult because there was nothing I could do. I was always there, and I could always go get her. I could fly to Belize and bring her home if I had to. All of those things, I was able to do something, including prayer. But at that moment, that was the first time I sat there helpless. And all I could do was pray.
Yeah. What moment in your life required the deepest level of trust in God?
That moment in the hospital room.
All right.
In that waiting room, watching the clock tick away and just waiting for somebody to come and talk to us, not knowing what was going to happen to her, not knowing anything. At one point, when she was first diagnosed, she was in LA at UCLA, and she called me and we talked about it. And I knew God had spoken to me at that point and said, she's not dying. She's not going to die. And she kept thinking she was dying. She had people around her telling her, for good reason.
Stage 4.
Stage 4.
That's when you hear that.
Yes.
That's always like
right. Sure.
Palliative care and hospice.
Yeah.
You're going to die.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
are you in full remission or
full remission?
Yeah. Good. God bless you, hon.
God bless me. All right. I'm a powerhouse now. Watch out. I'm after everybody.
Yeah. But, it's such a great thing because my grandmother had 6 brothers and sisters, and they all died from cancer. But you know what? But they all smoked from the time they were like 12 years old. But that was the culture back then. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so when I hear anybody that's dealing with cancer, I've got a partner that just retired after 33 years of being a cop, and now he has throat cancer.
1 in 3 will be diagnosed.
Yeah. And so God bless you, hon. Just be done with that.
He's not done with me. I got all this to do, I guess.
Yeah. How old are you now, hon?
Too old.
60. But you know what? You've
I'm
aged well.
60.
Both of you ladies.
Thank you.
Swimming in the fountain of youth. Where have you seen God working behind the scenes in ways you didn't expect? Because that's happened to me a million times.
Honestly, she and I were just talking about this and laughing because when we decided together to write the book, being new to all of this, I self-published for a variety of reasons. We did have an agent that was very interested in doing the traditional publishing. I opted for self-publishing, and I'm glad I did because I learned all of the back end on what to do and what to expect. What I didn't understand or didn't learn was all the marketing.
Yeah.
And so that's the curve we're on now. She thought, and I did too, in some respects, that we just had to write the book and then we would be done.
I thought I would be done.
No.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I think that's where God is moving and he is paving the way for us. We just have to take the leap of faith and go down the road that he's created for us.
You know what? I just self-published my first book, and I realize now I was a little naive. You know what I mean? And I just thought, hey, these are all great stories, and this thing's going to be big. And I put it on Amazon, and I think I've sold like 250 books. I mean, it's nothing major, but I was just happy to just do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's the major hurdle.
Sure.
I mean, just to do it. I think there's a lot of people that want to do it. I think one of my gifts is I have zero fear. I go, hey man, you know what? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
You know, and here's one. What does resilience truly mean to you on a personal level?
Well, as my cousin will attest to, I don't give up.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't give up. It's just ingrained in me.
Yeah.
I just don't. And I think she's a living testament of me not giving up because many people have walked away from her. A lot. Family members included.
Yeah.
I just don't have it in me to give up. And I think I'll take it back to my dad. He was a World War II veteran and got contracted polio.
Oh, wow.
And so he lost the use of both of his legs through that and walked with a cane for years because he refused to give up and sit in a wheelchair.
Okay. No, you know what? I'm with you ladies in this. I'm a warrior. I am a warrior. I come from nothing and I'm self-made and I'm like you, man. It's like you can knock me down, but you ain't keeping me down. Somehow, some way, somewhere, I'm getting through it, you know.
I'm coming back stronger.
Damn right.
I get up swinging and coming back stronger.
Why did you feel called to tell Gaylyn's story?
Well, so the story's been years in the making.
Yeah.
A very
I'm sure
long
you guys
time,
have spoken
obviously.
to us, talked
Yes.
about it 1,000 or 2,000 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe about 4,000 or 6,000.
Many times she would call me with some crazy story that's happened in her life and say, this would be a great chapter in our book. And she always referred to it as our book.
Yeah.
Like, we need to write this book. What she really meant is she wanted me to write it
Yeah.
because she doesn't have the attention span
Yeah.
to put pen to paper.
I gotta live it. I can't be writing. I gotta live it. Okay?
I totally know what you're talking about.
Be the one to experience it all.
I get it.
So then a few years ago, she was here visiting and we were in my car and just chatting and laughing about crazy things that she and I had both been through. And mostly her memories and my memories, and talking about our grandmother and the crazy things that our grandmother would even do, and craziness that would come out of her mouth. And she just looked and smiled at me with a twinkle in her eye and said, "It's time."
Yeah, that's
right.
awesome.
Didn't
Well, I
realize
could
what
tell
I was
this.
getting into.
Well, you know what? I mean, I'm really big on, one of my gifts is I can size people up in 2.2 seconds because that's my gift of being a cop, right? The minute you got out, you have this light about you. The minute you got out of the car, you walked up, you shook my hand. You are a strong woman. I mean, I love the fact you looked me in my eyes, you shake my hand, kind of hard. And I'm like,
I'm gonna take you down.
you're a badass. You know what I mean? And I love that.
I'm glad you recognized it.
I do. This one is, some of these, even as I write them, I get emotional even writing the questions. When did you realize this story had a purpose beyond your own family? Because I think this book is going to speak to a lot of people.
It does. It
Yes.
does. And if I could read you the Amazon reviews from people who have read it, that's when I knew.
Yeah.
That's when I knew that it will have such a lasting impact on so many people. Anybody who has struggled with any kind of trauma or abuse or cancer, illness, whatever it is, she has experienced it, and she touches everyone she meets. So I think just the first time I started reading, I didn't want to read the Amazon reviews, to be honest. For a while.
Yeah.
You know how that is.
Yeah.
I didn't want to at first. I didn't want to know what I didn't know.
Yeah.
But then once I started reading them, and then messages we would get from people who had read the book, it's a page turner. They can't put it down.
Love it.
Oh my goodness, where is she today? That's when God spoke to me and said, "This is where we're going. You need to come along for the ride." So here we are.
Good for you. What responsibility did you feel in telling someone else's deeply personal story? Because there is a responsibility.
Yes.
And obviously, I know this. You're not just going to trust any person to tell this story. So it's great that it's a cousin that's family, that clearly you ladies love each other. But there is a responsibility when
Sure.
you're telling somebody's story.
Sure, absolutely there is. It's a huge responsibility. I don't think that she would have trusted anybody else.
Yeah, that's a
tell her
lot
story.
because you wouldn't want that told in the wrong way,
Right.
Or even in the wrong context,
Right.
because in fact, both of those subjects, they're too important,
And I was a witness to it all.
yeah,
So
you were there.
I was a firsthand witness, and so I was able to share through my memories as well. And early on in the book, when we talk about it, one of the first chapters is cousins and country roads, and so it goes back to our childhood together and growing up. And so I had firsthand knowledge of what was happening.
Awesome.
And to interject, she is not just a cousin to me. She is more of a mother.
Wow.
I really was raised by a pack of wolves when you look back on it. Sorry, you might want to cut that out.
No, I love it.
But she's much more, she's been my mentor, my mother, and she's someone that I trust immensely.
Yeah.
Because very few women want you to do better than them. But a mother always wants you to be better than her. And that's how I see LaVonne. She is a type of woman that wants you to succeed. She's going to adjust your crown, kick you in the butt, and straighten it again and make you go again. But so she's not just, when I hear people talk about cousins, I'm like, oh, no. She's just not a cousin.
Yeah.
I called her my rudder.
Yeah.
She was the one that kept guiding me to where I needed to be, as a mother should.
Awesome. You know what? I think so many people in this world are alone. And I think there's a lot of people that could benefit from that. And I could tell you this, ladies, I spent a lot of years, just being that crazy cop, partying, chasing women, all this other stuff. And, I had to go through a couple divorces, you know what I mean? And I finally found the woman I'm supposed to be with at 48 years old. So, how did you balance truth with compassion when writing about trauma? Because I think when you're writing about this stuff, it's got to be so truthful, almost to a fault. It really does, because it would be a disservice to embellish.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. So in the book, the very beginning of the book, I have a disclaimer for any reader who might pick it up randomly, if they don't know any of the backstory, that there is truth in this story. It's raw, it's emotional, there's abuse, dysfunction, illness. It's all folded in there. And I wanted every person who picked up the book to know that before they dove in, because I didn't want anybody else to be triggered. There are issues here that are absolutely raw.
Yeah.
And through interviewing Gaylynn, because she was still in Florida when I started the writing process, we would sit together on the phone and interview. And there would be so many times that I knew, because I know her so well, the sound of her voice, I would either hear some cracking in it, or she would be distracted by something else and not be in the story. We would have to take a break, because it is traumatic to have to live through it again by retelling it. That's why this is difficult for her, to go through it again and again and again. So I think in those moments, we talked about how raw do you want this to be?
Yeah.
Do you want it to be everything? And there were things we cut out, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I always
just
say
too
this.
much.
People wouldn't even believe it.
I was going to say, some of the stuff is watered down, I'm sure, because, if you hit people with the honest to God's truth, sometimes it's almost too much for some.
Right. That's why I put the disclaimer.
Yeah.
Because even though I wouldn't even say that we watered it down, I did temper it a bit.
Yeah.
But not so much that it distracted from the truth of her story. And that's the other part of taking on someone else's story. You have to find and learn that balance of, can I share this with the open public and still honor her story and her life? So it was a constant balancing act for me.
Got it. What was your first conversation with Gaylynn like about writing this book?
Gosh, it's just been an ongoing conversation, honestly, like over 10 years.
I said 2,000, she goes 6,000, so I'm sure it's just been this back and forth.
It was a constant back and forth conversation, really.
It was my life.
Every time.
Every time something crazy happened, and it's crazy stuff that happens in my life.
I was going to say, you guys could probably make a movie about this stuff.
They're actually looking at it. So
we would love to. Yes.
If you guys need a handsome man, let me know.
You'll be the first one we call.
Here's one. What was the most emotionally difficult part of writing Get Up?
Emotionally difficult?
Yeah.
Again, I'm not overly emotional. So
Okay.
But I will tell you the most difficult part.
Yeah.
It was the ending.
Yeah.
Because it really isn't an ending.
Yeah.
I struggled with how to close the story. I could have kept going and it would have been so much longer. But I needed to find a way to close it that would still honor her, but honor her where she is today.
Yeah.
Most people, and she has said this many, many times, would not believe some of the things that she has gone through by the way she looks today.
Yeah.
So I needed to find a way to wrap up the book, but leave with the understanding this is really not the end.
Got it. And have you written already a follow-up to it?
We're starting.
Okay. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
Were there moments when you had to step away because it became overwhelming? That's happened to me. I just wrote a chapter about a 2-year-old that was beat to death that I had to investigate. And writing that chapter was an assault on my soul.
I bet.
And so I had to step away. So I was asking, I'm sure you had times where it's so much. And obviously you love her. It's not somebody that, some Joe Blow you don't know. So did you ever have those moments?
I did, but not for that same reason. Yeah. She had more moments that she had to stop.
I get that. Yeah.
But for me, it was more frustration in
having to stop.
Yeah.
Start and stop. Just the writing process and getting frustrated with making sure the timeline was correct and making sure I had everything accurate. And being a former educator, I was very, very specific with timing, and that all had to be correct. And then she would come back with something else later, and I would say, wait, that's not what you said 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So those kinds of things were frustrating, and I would have to stop. But the emotional side, it was more for her, having to relive.
Well, and you know what, we always say this in law enforcement, you know, especially like if we're investigating let's say a child molestation or a rape, even though we have to ask these questions, it almost feels like we're re-victimizing the people, right?
Yeah.
And because some of these things that we talk about, they're hard to hear, let alone have to live them and experience them. So how do you process your emotions while carrying someone else's story? Because sometimes when I'm telling these stories, it's hard for me to keep my emotions in check.
Mm-hmm.
You seem a little bit more reserved.
Yeah, I'm not
good. She's not like us. Okay, she's not like us. So sorry,
I'm grappling here with.
I know. I was going. Well, wait.
She's like, what the heck are emotions?
What are those?
No.
Yeah. Okay, and you know what? And that's a gift. It truly is.
It is such a gift.
Here's one. What did this story teach you about suffering?
I see that people deal with suffering in many different ways. And I think that we have to acknowledge that and honor that. I've had issues or suffering in my life. I just handle it different than Gaylynn does, or you might. And I think honoring that and acknowledging everybody goes through their trials and tribulations at a different pace and in different ways.
100%. Yes. What did it teach you about faith under pressure?
Again, I didn't feel much pressure.
Okay.
Non-emotional, no pressure. She's like
actually,
a drone.
I do pretty well what most would consider under pressure.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty well. But there were times I would get frantic phone calls from her. We got to finish this book. 2 days later, I don't want to write this book.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
That's the kind of pressure.
You know what? I mean, just in the little bit of the research I did, you're dealing with things that are just, I'm sure, almost destroyed you.
Oh, many times over.
Right. And so it's a real testament to you that you're here, you're strong, you're vibrant, you're all these things. And even though I just met you today, man, impressive, most impressive.
Thank you.
Honestly,
I will say, as far as pressure goes, it was more in the middle of what she was going through when I would get those phone calls.
Yeah.
Then it was jump into action. How am I going to support her? What can I do for her? One example is when she was still in Belize and was severely beaten by her boyfriend, 2 inches of death, calling me, needing to get out of the country as fast as she could.
wow.
So my jump into action is, how can I get her home? What kind of ticket can I get that he won't find? So those are the kinds of pressures, but it was always in the moment of her.
You know, when I hear those stories, it takes me back to when I was a cop and I had to go to so many of those. And men that beat women will not fight men.
No.
And I would literally get there and these guys were like, why are you taking this so serious, officer? And I would be like, I'm her avenging angel is what I am. That's my gift. That's the Lord put that on me to be a protector. I was born to be in service of others. What did it reveal to you about the strength of the human spirit?
Again, we all have different strengths.
We do.
I feel like for Gaylynn, it revealed so much to me, even when we were younger, even as teenagers. I witnessed things that she had suffered and things that she had gone through, and to just turn right back around and stand up. And I watched
I could see that in you.
It was amazing.
How tall are you? You're 6 foot?
Nope.
I'm only 5'10",
Really? Yeah.
but I have a big presence.
You do. You do. Well, when she stepped out of the car, it's like when you walked up to me, I was like,
Damn.
You know, because, well, you got heels on because, yeah, you're
little
like,
teeny heels.
we're like eye to eye. And, you know, I'm like 5'11", and you're like, I was like, this is a strong woman.
She's
You're just
extremely
a strong woman.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. And those are the things, watching her go through everything that she did. She's a strong woman no matter what.
Yeah.
But then to
But I
watch her
think
go
there's
through
a
that.
lot of these things that would have crumpled
Oh, for sure.
a lot of other
Absolutely.
folks. I really do.
Absolutely.
And that's a testament to you, hun, honestly. What's it like loving someone through pain you cannot fix?
Horrible.
Yes.
Horrible. Because I am a fixer.
Yeah.
And I want to be there to help anybody that's in my midst, anybody who's in my presence, my family, friends that I dearly love. I'm a fixer. I'm going to be there to support you. As Gaylynn said, I want you to succeed. I want you to do the very best you can do in your life. And if I can help you, I will be there.
Yeah.
So watching her go through everything, every trial, every hurt, every issue that she had faced throughout her life, it's horrible.
I would tell you this. I lost my sister to suicide, and I'm like you. When people get themselves in free fall, I'm one of their first phone calls. And that was a time when I realized sometimes love cannot save people.
Right.
And it's something that I struggled with for a long time because I've always protected people, but I couldn't protect my family because she didn't want it. You know what I mean? And that's so that specific question, when I wrote that, I'm thinking about my sister, you know.
That also goes back to your vision that you had, or message you got from God about love me or leave me.
Yes. So
I'd
early,
like to hear that one.
early on, through a lot of her trials, the frustrations, and I'm not kidding, when I would start interviewing her for the book and she would say this, she would call and say, we need to finish this book. 2 days later, we can't do this book. That's how it has always been with her. So it's always back and forth.
Yeah.
And a lot of frustrations and points. I would personally get to the point of, I can't do this anymore because I don't have that personality. I am very much a planner. I think forward, but and I just was ready to give up. I was ready to tap and say, I can't do this anymore. And God spoke to me and said, love her or leave her. Love her as she is, or walk away. And I chose to love her because I can't give up.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
I'm the lucky recipient.
Yeah. How did Gaylyn's loss impact you personally?
Aside from the horrific situation, she lost more than just her daughter that day.
Oh, yeah.
And as a mother, it's something that you never want to wish on anybody. She was extremely close to that daughter. It was horrible, horrible, horrible to watch someone who I loved so much and had never given up on, ever, go through that. And I was the first person she called.
You know, before, for the folks at home, before we started this episode, we kind of talked, and I never met your daughter, but I saw photographs of her during that time. She was drop dead gorgeous, and I just remember seeing that, and it was such a sad thing. And we talked about 3 other people passed. Yes. So you had 4 people killed, and horrible. Just, I mean, you know, and I remember that there's something about, like, when I lost my sister, I always say this, a part of me went dark with it. And there's something about that I don't, you know, obviously it will carry that till the day we die. That's just part of it.
Yeah, our hearts will never be the same.
100%. What does witnessing grief up close teach you that people often don't understand? Because I think when people are going through things, what's the first question? Why? Why me? Why is this happening? Right? What did that teach you about that?
I think I experienced that myself a little bit when I was in the hospital. Like, I didn't understand. She had been through so much. When she had her cancer surgery to remove the tumor, her daughter had already passed.
Wow.
And they had been looking for her daughter because she was the only one of the 4 victims that was missing.
Yeah, it took months, wasn't it?
Years, 2 years.
Oh, wow.
2
I
years.
didn't know it took that long.
Yeah,
Okay,
2 years.
yeah.
We're just shy of 2 years. She was found on July 2nd and identified on July 4th. And
Horrible.
she was killed September 1st. So
Oh,
it was
my gosh.
almost to 2 years.
Yeah, so being in the hospital room, waiting for the surgeon to come back and tell us she's going to live or she's not. Why?
Yeah.
Why, God? That was my big question, sitting in that chair waiting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did your family change through these seasons of tragedy?
My family, my side of the family has always been very supportive. The day we got the phone call from Gaylynn about her daughter, my husband and I we were walking out our door getting ready to go to church, and the phone kept ringing, and I thought it was a spam call. I didn't know who it was. I just kept ignoring it. But as soon as we figured out what was happening, and Gaylynn couldn't talk to me. She actually had a friend that she was with call me, and all I could hear was her screaming in the background.
I'm sure.
As soon as I got off the phone and got the details of what was happening, my husband dropped everything and said, let's drive. We had to go to Las Vegas. We're going to drive to Las Vegas. We have to be there before she gets there. So that was just one way of supporting me through all of it. And the rest of my family the same. They were, whatever it took, they were going to be there.
Yeah. What went through your mind when the cancer diagnosis came? I'm sure that's just getting hit by a ton of bricks.
Yeah, it was. It was so difficult to wrap my head around. What else can happen to her?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, she just lost her daughter.
Yeah.
What else?
And what was the time frame between losing your daughter and then the cancer diagnosis? What are we talking about?
We lost Reagan on September 1st, and I had taken some girls. Yoga's my drug of choice. I had taken some young girls down to Mexico about 6 months later, and I had gotten very sick down in Mexico, and that's where I finally tapped and went to a hospital.
Almost back to back.
I was back to back, and then
yeah.
I call her because and I flew into UCLA, so it was 6 months. So
A little over 6 months,
just
I think.
about 6
Wow.
months.
That's quick, though. I mean, just to have.
Well, she had been sick.
Almost double trauma back to
Well,
back.
and I
with
believe
both,
it was the
worst
trauma
news you
that
can ever get. Yeah.
Right, the trauma induced the cancer because the
sure.
stress on the body.
Yeah.
So
She had already been sick. She just hadn't acknowledged it. She was in the midst of looking for her daughter.
Yeah.
So
you're going to put you on the back burner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
mm-hmm.
How did you hold on to faith when life keeps getting harder? I think this one, people struggle with so much because, never ask what more could happen because it can always get worse.
It always
right?
can get
Yeah,
worse.
right.
I don't want any more lessons.
She's a living testimony to it can always get worse. For me, because faith was so deeply ingrained in my life as growing up, I don't think that my faith ever wavered. I just questioned.
Oh, yeah.
Why? And Gaylynn used to, before she actually came to a really strong connection and faith with God, she would call me and tell me what was happening at that moment. And she would say, I need you to get on the bat phone to God because I need you to talk to him about this.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. And we would laugh and joke about it. And I would try to talk to her and explain, well, you don't need me to talk to God for you. You can do it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, after everything that this woman has gone through and stood up through the ashes of her life, she has come to the realization she has her own bat phone.
I still call her though.
Hey, but that's,
I still got people.
You're blessed
I am.
in that.
I will.
Because I think there's a lot of people that just don't have that, Here's one. Did you ever wrestle with God during this journey?
Oh, of course.
I think a lot of people
Of
do.
course.
They're like, Have you forsaken me?
Mm-hmm.
Why is this happening to somebody I love? Why is this just going on and on and on? And Gaylynn, I got some questions for you about
I'm
this.
done waiting these questions. I'm like, oh my goodness, I think I need to go to the restroom. Oh my God, get out of here.
And if you guys need to take
I'm
a break,
joking.
No, she means she's going to leave.
I'm going to leave. I'm running out the back door. I don't want my questions.
You're out. Okay. What does real support look like in someone's darkest moments? I think we got to be there for them. And almost, I've had to do this many times. You almost got to put yourself on the back burner.
Oh, for sure.
You got to put these people before
absolutely.
yourself.
That's LaVonne's superpower.
It is.
That is her superpower.
Because, I just think that there comes a point in time where, yes, there's only so much that we can do, but you just have to let people know, I'm there. You need to call me at 3 a.m. Call me at 3 a.m.
And she does.
Yeah. You need me to jump on a plane? I'm jumping on a plane. Whatever you need, we're going to make this happen.
And I think she knows that. She absolutely 100% believes that with our connection.
Yeah.
But I feel like I do that for everyone in my life.
That's, like I said, our superpower.
That is a superpower. I have the same one. Here's one. What did Gaylynn teach you about courage?
She's fearless.
I picked up on that the minute I saw you.
She is absolutely fearless. And I equate courage with being fearless, but also courage with loving others unconditionally. She doesn't matter. It does not matter to her where you came from, who your family is, what your name is. She will love you just as you are. I was just having this conversation the other day. She has the biggest heart of anyone I've ever known. And so I think that courage piece is multifaceted.
Well, I picked up on this. You're a force of nature. You really are.
She is.
You have a way about you, and like I said, you stepped around the corner of that car and I was like, oh, okay, right? And you just have this way you have a light about you, which is awesome. Here's one. What does faith look like when life feels like it's falling apart?
These are difficult questions for me because I'm not sure that I've experienced it to that depth.
Got it.
Only because I'm pretty stoic and
you are. I picked up on that about you. But that's, I think, and I hate to use this analogy, but I'll give it to you. I've worked with a lot of administrators, okay, because I get to be an officer 8 years on campuses collectively through my career. Most administrators are like that. Academics, they're thinking 3 moves ahead. This is a game of chess, not checkers, right? And I didn't get along with a lot of those people because I am a force of nature, especially when they had that badge on. Come hell or high water, it was going to be my way. I used to have to go into meetings with administrators. I used to tell them, have no fear who swings the biggest bat in this room. It's me. I'm wearing a gun, right? And but I think, that's a gift, though. It's to be able to analyze things. I'm more emotional, right? And I can already tell you're more emotional. You're more of a thinker. And I picked up on it.
Very much.
Stealthy
but I'm also, she says
stealthy. She makes people cringe.
I'm also not intimidated by very many people.
Good.
And so I think that helps me in that area also that I'm usually just not intimidated, I guess.
I've never known
and which is, and I mean, especially for women, that's a gift. It really is. Here's one. How do you find God in anger, grief, or emotional numbness? Because I think when it gets really bad, I think people go numb. I've seen it 1,000. I mean, I went to 100,000 calls for service ladies. And I just think when it gets so bad, I just think people shut down. They go into almost free fall and they are just trying to navigate it the best thing. But a lot of people, I think, just go numb.
And that's where drug addiction, alcoholism,
100%.
all of that comes into place
Yes,
to numb us.
100%.
Right.
Yes.
I think for me, I also have that gift of recognizing, understanding brain research and how there is no speaking or reasoning with anyone who is in that downward spiral. And I know that about her as well.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of an insight. Like you mentioned earlier, you can see people and read them pretty quickly. I think I have that gift as well.
Big time.
And so I know, because of the brain research that I've done, there's no reasoning with anyone who's in that downward spiral or downward fall.
Oh, yeah.
So I also have that ability to recognize when they're ready to speak, ready to talk, that I'm there.
Yeah.
And in the midst of all of that, I'm present but not speaking.
Yeah. Now, Gaylynn, did you struggle with any drug addiction?
It's all in the book.
Okay.
I've got it all. What do you got? Come on.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Drug addiction? Let's see.
What
Yes.
was your drug of choice?
Cocaine. Come on.
Well, yeah.
Let's do a little cocaine.
That's a hell of a drug.
Hell of a drug. Yeah. I didn't go fast enough. I had to have a little more there. Yeah. Cocaine.
Okay. Here's one. Have you ever had moments where prayer was all you had left?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My grandma was a very most religious woman I've ever been around. Witnessed to people all day, read her Bible cover to cover, wouldn't set foot in a church, right? Because for her, it was full of black backsliders and, hypocrites. And
Aren't we all?
Yeah. But I will tell you this. That was something I learned from her, and I would come home from school and my living room would be full of strangers because my grandma was in there holding church, right? Here's one. What does surrender mean to you now compared to before?
I don't know that it's actually changed.
Okay.
To be honest, I think I'm the same person. I think surrender is, to me, giving everything that you have up to God. You have to trust that He has a better plan for you than you could ever imagine for yourself. What that plan is, He doesn't always reveal to us all at once, and that's okay.
And He doesn't reveal it in the way that we want Him to.
No, I want to know now what I'm going to be doing in 3 years.
Yeah.
This one, on the other hand, doesn't want to know anything until the moment it unfolds.
Yeah.
So I think surrendering is the same. It's been the same for me almost my whole life. Surrendering, when I think of the word surrender, my brain immediately goes to God.
Yeah. Okay. How do you reconcile deep pain with believing that God is still good? Because I've had people right in front of me curse God, right?
This one.
Right.
Yep, she did.
Yeah, curse God. And there's, I think, especially when we're in the throes of losing a daughter, going through cancer, all these things, it's so easy to go, what the heck is going on, God? Why? But I'm with you. God has a plan for us, I think, but man, sometimes it's hard to understand it, and it's hard to navigate it when it's happened. You're right. What role does forgiveness play in healing and moving forward?
Forgiveness is everything.
Yes.
If God didn't give me the ability to forgive, we wouldn't be sitting here. Because I would have walked away a long time ago.
Got it.
So I think just being able to forgive and
then I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to share, I'm sure Gaylynn didn't make this easy.
I didn't.
I'm reading between the lines here. Right.
Do I look easy? Come on.
No, it was not easy at all. But just living everything, I think had we not had the connection, and again, God had the appointed time for us to be in the same family together and being raised together, basically, through our grandparents, and our mothers were sisters. I think had He not developed that relationship between us at such a young age and brought us so close together, I probably would have walked away.
Got it.
But it wasn't in my DNA to do that.
What does hope look like when circumstances don't change. Because I think people can get discouraged pretty quick.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I think that's a great question for Gaylynn.
Yeah. And you know what?
I don't want my questions.
You just want
Hey, they're coming.
I'm going to cry. I'm emotional.
I was going to say, but they're coming because you got some stuff I want to hear. How do you keep going when strength feels out of reach? I've been there many times.
Oh, yes. And I don't want it to sound contrite, but for me, when I'm at the end of my cup, I just can't go anymore. I can't do anymore. I feel like my strength is gone. Not the last, but the best thing I do is just go back to prayer. I have a lot of responsibilities in my family and my life.
Yeah.
Big responsibility over here. But anytime somebody comes to me, and this just happened the other day, I was frantically working on a piece, trying to meeting some deadlines, getting some things done. And she came rushing into the office and started going on about something she needed. And I just looked at her. She goes, "Oh, are you busy?" "No. What do you need?"
Yeah.
So yes.
Oh, sorry. Oopsie.
Well,
I was like, that housekeeper.
That's what I do. That's how I deal with things. And it's always about prayer. It's always about taking everything back to God.
Well, and this kind of transitions right into my next one. What has this journey taught you about unconditional love?
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's really
easy.
hard.
It's not easy.
I don't know how God did it with giving us Jesus. It's a very difficult thing to do, to love somebody unconditionally.
Big time.
But what I will say is I've learned almost all of that ability to love someone unconditionally from her.
Awesome.
Really?
Awesome.
I've seen her so many times go and talk to people that I would never even have noticed.
Yeah.
She has such a heart of gold. And when I say loves unconditionally, I truly mean. I've never seen anybody love people like she does. When a couple of years ago, I was in Florida, she and I were having lunch at a little outside cafe, and we got our food, we sat down, we started to eat, and she quickly jumped up. I said, "What are you doing?" She boxed everything up and she was ready. She picked it up and walked over. I said, "Where are you going?" She walked over and gave it to a homeless man and said, "Here, honey, I think you look hungry." I never even saw him.
Yeah.
That's her unconditional love.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
We are, but we don't always see it.
I got too much cop in me.
Right? You would never have done that, right?
Yeah.
I'll sit with them and I'll go, "I'm going to sit with you and help you, but I will kill you."
Yeah.
No, and people laugh and I'm like, "Oh, I'm serious."
yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah. How has your perspective on life and purpose shifted through this entire experience? Because I'm sure it has.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I retired about 2 years ago from my career.
What district were you with?
I was with Visalia Unified for 20 years.
What site were you at?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I was at Fairview, Viva Blunt, and Conyer.
Okay.
And then I moved into administration and went over to Kings County Office of Ed.
Oh, okay. Good for you.
That's where I retired from.
Okay. Making the big bucks, right?
Oh, they tell us that.
Yeah.
She worked a lot.
I did work a lot.
Yeah, you know what? There's an administrator that was at Redwood High School, and my real father passed away. And this man, his name was Lou Irwin, and he retired as the assistant principal at Redwood. He is the closest thing to a father that I have now, and we got to be together during that time. And when I call him, it takes me right back to those times. Mm-hmm. And I truly love this man like a father. And I'm so thankful that I got to work in the schools because I got to meet people of his caliber. Mm-hmm. And it elevated me. It made me better. Mm-hmm. And here's one. What inspired you to start Valley Grace Publishing?
The honest story?
Yeah.
Going through this self-publishing, road, going down that road, everything was so new to me. And I was actually in communication with the literary agent that was very interested in picking up our book. I didn't know I needed an imprint to actually get my book out there and published through KDP. So I started doing some research. Well, I don't even know what an imprint is, literally had no knowledge. And so I just started researching and looking at other imprints and different companies and wondering, how did they come up with their name? Like, I don't get it. And so I was talking to someone about it, and I actually reached out to the literary agent, and he said, you should choose an imprint that means something to you because it will always stick with you. And I thought, okay. So I started toying with some names, and I thought, well, we're both from the Valley.
Yeah.
And we're all covered by grace.
Awesome.
There it is.
All right. What kind of stories do you feel called upon to tell?
I want to tell stories that are uplifting, that anybody who picks it up would be lifted up and know that they are a child of God.
I love it.
So my stories will always be faith-based in some respect. Oh, interestingly enough, we were at, can I say Barnes & Noble?
For sure.
Yesterday doing a book signing. And a woman and her 2 girls came by, and they were looking at the book, and she read the back of the book, and she asked me, what faith is this based on? And I said, Christian. And she's like, oh, okay. And I said, Protestant.
Oh.
And she said, oh, okay. And then I could tell she was still a little questioning. And I said, all of the scriptures that I reference in the book are from the NIV. And she said, oh, okay. Yeah. So then it resonated with her because she said, oftentimes she looks at books and they say they're faith-based and they talk about God, but Jesus is never mentioned.
Okay.
And so she's always very careful now when she looks into faith-based.
See, my grandma would only read the King James Bible.
Right. That's a tough one.
Yes, she would only read that one. Uh-huh. And, when she passed, it was one of the few things she still had left. And, I wish I had that Bible now, but it was, I just remember those pages, they were so thin and they were almost worn.
Right.
Because she had just read that Bible cover to cover so many times. Why is it important for stories of faith and resilience to be shared with others today?
I think it's so important for the world. We're in such a broken world right now.
I agree.
And it's not that it hasn't always been broken since the fall of man. It has. It has absolutely been broken since then. I think we just are so much more aware of it now because of the internet and media and all of that. But we are in the end times. We all know that. All believers know that. And I think it's just our calling. We have to put it out there. We have to let people know they are children of God and that God loves them unconditionally. Gaylyn's a perfect example of showing God's love to people. Yeah. So I think it's just our duty and our calling.
I think you're doing well. I think you're doing God's work.
Thank you.
Right? How do you hope readers are impacted when they finish your book?
I hope that they are uplifted, and I pray, I put in my books oftentimes when I'm signing them, I pray that they are blessed by this story. Just to hear somebody who has had so many tragedies and was able to continue through her life and flourish. She's amazing now. She does some amazing work with others. And I want them to know that there's always hope. God is always there for you.
Yeah.
Gaylynn has a great thing we're practicing for tonight, that she talks about not just staying down. You have to get up. You have to be able to stand up in the face of adversity and one of the things that she talks about is learning how to be still and know that He is God.
Got it. What has been the most meaningful feedback you've received from readers?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Dana.
Probably Dana, yeah. So do I have time
story.
to tell this story?
Yeah. Love to hear it.
Gaylynn and I were at a little book tour in Florida. I went out there and we had a bunch of things scheduled and we were at an outdoor venue. she and I had taken a break to go over to a little coffee shop. And in the coffee shop, there were 3 women in there standing in line. Gaylynn, as you have recognized, is very magnetic.
Big time.
And so people just are drawn to her wherever she goes. So these women just started talking and chatting and visiting, and we asked why they were there. They were actually there for
An AA conference.
An AA
Oh,
conference.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. And started talking. They asked what we were doing there. We explained about the book, why we were there, got to talking to them, and I was pushing the book, encouraging them to read it and come back. We invited them back to our venue, come check it out. And this one lady said she would love to. Is it on Audible? And I said, no, not yet. I haven't gotten there yet, but that's my goal. And she said, well, I struggle with reading. It's comprehension, very difficult for me. I said, well, to be honest, I'm a retired educator. So I wrote the book with folks like you in mind because I worked with children who struggled with reading, and I want everybody to have access to the story. I convinced her. They came over to our stand out at the outdoor venue. We got to talking to them. They all bought books. They went home, and Dana, this one, could not put it down, read it in 2 days. This is the reluctant reader.
Yeah.
And then wrote an amazing review on Amazon for us. I wish I had it. I could pull it up for you. But I think one of the best, she said it changed her life and that she's ready to tell her story. But I think the thing
That's powerful.
it's so powerful. The thing that got to me the most was just a few weeks ago. She sent Gaylynn and I have to tell the other part. Sorry, I'm going to back up just a minute.
Yeah.
You can cut this part out.
Back
up just a second.
No, we want to hear it all.
In the midst of talking with these women, they were asking what we were doing next and on and on. And I said, well, we're actually going to Ohio in April. Actually, we leave on Thursday for Ohio for a conference, and they're from Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Right by there.
All right.
We're having lunch with them.
We're going to have dinner with them
Great.
in Ohio. So fast forward to Dana. A couple of weeks ago, Dana sent Gaylynn and I this picture. I know your viewers probably can't see this, but in the book, every act, there are 4 acts in the book, and every act has this image on it.
Okay. It's like a heart with a cross.
Correct.
Yes.
So Dana sent us a picture. She and her best friend, also an alcoholic, had that tattooed on them.
Oh, wow.
I didn't realize that's where she got it from.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's great.
Yeah. So it's an amazing story. And we've had so many wonderful reviews. There's just too many.
Like in my mind, even if you guys only helped one person,
Absolutely.
I think it's worth it.
Absolutely.
that's all I wanted to do with the book. I didn't want to do all this. I wanted to go play.
Yeah.
Just one person, okay?
Well, here's one. How has this book changed you as a person?
It's opened my eyes a lot. I think it has opened my mind and my eyes a lot to the hurting people out there, people who need to hear about hope. It's opened my eyes to the power that I've always known that she's powerful, but now to watch her go to this next level of helping so many people who struggle.
Love it. Yeah. In what ways has it strengthened or has it even challenged your faith? No.
Remember, nothing challenges
Nothing?
LaVonne's faith.
Nothing?
I don't think it's,
Sorry to answer.
no,
Okay. That's awesome.
no.
Okay.
Nothing gets you off your box.
Yeah.
And
well,
her
that's
crown,
great.
her
That's
glory to
great.
God. Nothing.
What do you want your legacy to be as a storyteller?
If you had stopped the sentence before storyteller, I would have said faith and family first.
Got it.
But since you had a storyteller, that I would only share stories that give all glory to Jesus.
Good. Okay. What message would you give to someone walking through deep suffering right now?
I think the message is from both of us. It's not too late.
Yeah.
Get up.
Yeah.
You have to get up,
I get it.
keep moving.
Last question for you.
Gotta go. Mexico's calling me.
If your life and this story could leave one truth behind, what would it be?
The love of our Savior.
Okay. In the Central Valley, real estate isn't just business, it's personal. Born and raised in Exeter with 19 years of experience, Vinny Arbizo with Century 21 Select Real Estate is the local expert you can trust. From Visalia to Tulare, Kings, Fresno, and San Luis Obispo counties, he knows the market and he knows how to win. With a 5-star reputation and hundreds of successful transactions, Vinny delivers results you can count on. Homes sold fast, deals done right. Clients for life. Call or text Vinny today at 559-804-6774 and tell him that J-Mac sent you. Real estate done right. Real fast. Now, I am a master storyteller. Now, I have a story for you two ladies, okay?
Okay.
So, I was in the gang unit. My partner was a parole agent, and we had a brutal day. We were busy. We had put like 6 people in jail. We were all over the county. So by the end of a 10-hour shift, I was ready to go home and sleep the sleep of the righteous, right? I was beat. And I dropped my partner off at his car. I'm about 3 blocks from the PD, and 2 cops start screaming for help, and they're downtown in a big bar fight. So I hit the lights and sirens, hot-footed over there to help them, and I pull up, and there's like 12 people in this parking lot, and people are just beating the soup out of each other, right? So I jump out of my car, and there was a female officer, and I remember she looked a little scared, and I was like, get behind me, and so I go into the fray. And so I get this guy, he starts swinging, I take him, body slam him, shoot him in the back with a taser, then I take the taser and I put it in the back of his neck. And this is 50,000 volts, ladies. It'll get your attention right now. And so finally he's like, all right, dude, I give up, no more fighting me. And I was like, all right. So I put him in handcuffs, hand him to the female officer, put him in the back of the car because there's too many other people fighting. So I go back into the fray, and there's a female that comes at me, and man, she tries to cold cock me. She's going for it, right? So I end up punching her in the face a couple times, took her to the ground, get her in handcuffs, and I pass her off to the female officer. Take care of her, right? But I've only got 2 pairs of handcuffs. But I go back into the fray because I'm helping my partners. And this is a melee. And it took probably 12 minutes for us to get this thing under control because people would not stop fighting. Anyways, we finally get it chilled out. I go back to this female officer because I'm like, give me the people that I arrested, right? Because we kind of have this thing. If you catch them, you cook them. I'm the guy that's going to have to do the reports, do the arrest, do all of it. And she points to the back door of her patrol car, and they're gone. Both of the people that I passed off. But I remember that there was a car parked right there, and there were 3 ladies sitting on top of that car watching this fight. They're gone. And I remember thinking, they're part of this. So I towed that car because I was like, somebody's going to come looking for that car. Somehow, some way, somewhere. Somebody's going to come looking for that car. So I tow the car as evidence, and I tell records, anybody shows up at this PD, you do not release that car until you talk to me. Next morning, get a call. Jay, there's a lady here trying to get that car. I said, I'll be there in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Boom. I fly over to the PD. I walk in there. Rough-looking lady, and I said, ma'am, somebody ran off of my handcuffs last night, and you're going to need to tell me. And she goes, I know who it is, but I ain't telling you shit. And I said, great, you're under arrest. You're obstructing, delaying, and resisting a peace officer in the performance of his duties. Boom, I put her in handcuffs. She goes, wait a minute. I got a 6-year-old in the backseat of this car. I said, I'll call CPS. She goes, what about my car? I go, I'll tow it. She goes, wait a minute, officer, I'll do whatever you want. I said, I know you will. I said, I'm not here to mess around. And so anyways, I said, you're going to have to call this lady who ran off with my cuffs. I said, it's going to happen, or you're going to pay the price. And she goes, will you dial this number for me? And I said, I will. So I dialed the number. I put the phone to her ear. And she's like, hey, I went to go pick up the car. That cop, he's got me in handcuffs. He's going to take my kid from me. He's going to tow my car. You need to get here now. I take the phone. I go, do you remember me? She goes, yeah. I said, you got 10 minutes to get to the Visalia Police Department, but 9 of them are already gone. I said, if you make me wait, and don't make me wait, I said, this lady's going to take the full blame for all this shit. I said, you understand me? She goes, I'll be there in 5 minutes. I said, you're already wasting time. Get your ass in your car and get here. So guess what? She, to her word, 5 minutes later, she pulls into the parking lot. She walks in there. I put her in handcuffs. I said, where's my cuffs? She said, we chopped them off. I said, you're going to need to take me to him. She goes, it's in Farmersville. I said, I got a car. Let's go. And so she says, I can't do that. And I said, then guess what? You're going to jail and she's going to jail. I said, I'm not here to fuck around. And so, that's how I talk, ladies, when I was dealing with hardcore people. And so she said, if you'll let her go, I'll take you to where the cuffs are at. And I said, I'm a man of my word. And so I take the cuffs off. The lady that I took the cuffs, she took off, ran out in her car, and drove out of that parking lot going 20 miles an hour. So I get the gang unit. We go over to Farmersville. We get in this pretty shady neighborhood. And she goes, you see that guy working on the car? This guy was on a roller underneath the car working on it. She goes, he's one of them that chopped off the cuffs. So I go over there, grab him by his legs, rip him out from under that car, and I'm standing over him. And I go, you remember me? And he goes, yeah. So we get him up. We put him in handcuffs. I go, where's my cuffs? One street over at my cousin's house. Show me. So we go over to the cousin's house. I knock on the door. Guy comes to the door. I go, you remember me? I go, where's my handcuffs? He goes, they're in the backyard. Bring them out. We put them in handcuffs. Show me. We go back there, and they hacksawed them off. So I arrest the gal and the 2 guys that chopped off the cuffs. Book them all. But I had put in my police report that I wanted to be reimbursed because a pair of handcuffs is like $40, right? So I was like, I want restitution. I want a brand new pair of cuffs. So I get a call from a local attorney, and he says, hey, Jay, this is so-and-so, and I've got my clients here, and we would like to pay you for those handcuffs. What are we looking at? And I go, give me a check for $40, and we'll call it even. He said, well, they're here. Can you come? I said, I'll be there in 5 minutes. So I walk in there, and these people, all 3 of them that I arrested, they're like, officer, can we tell you something? And I said, you sure can. And they said, you were scary. And they said, but you did treat us with dignity and respect. And so we wanted to tell you something. And I said, well, go ahead and say it. And they were like, we're sorry. And I said, I need to hear 2 words. And they were like, what? I go, never again. And they all collectively at the one time went, never again. And with that, I turned around, grabbed the check, and walked out the door. Right? So that really happened. Okay. So now we're going to transition to Gaylynn. Okay. For those meeting you for the first time, who are you at your core?
A force.
You are. Yeah.
I'm not afraid of anything.
I could see that.
With public speaking.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and I'm the other way. You put me in front of 5,000 people, I'm ready to roll.
Oh, no, I can talk all day long. Just not on the same subject. It's going to go over here, over there.
Yeah. How would you describe yourself beyond the titles people may know you by?
I get judged a lot.
Really?
Oh, women love to judge me. And I'm all love. I really am trying to straighten your crown. Yeah. I love all women and men. I love everybody, and I'm just trying to help. And they see me more of a intimidating.
Yeah. Well, you know what you do. I will. That's actually a good word for you. You do have just a strong way about you. Like when you walked up to me, I was like, oh, Because
She gonna take me down? What's she gonna do here?
No,
do I need those handcuffs?
because you're a strong woman. You're just you have that aura about you.
Yes.
That would be the best way. What was your childhood like, and how did it shape who you are today?
Ready for those tissues?
Yeah, hit me with it.
My childhood was chaotic. My mother, she did her best. My father left us whenever my sister was born with cancer, so he took off and left.
Wow.
And left us in the thralls of a mother that really didn't know what to do. So then she remarried. My mother chased money, so she remarried a farmer that was quite abusive.
Okay.
And so he raised me I worked like a man. By the time I was, it's in the book even, by the time I was 4 or 5, I was washing trucks, yard
Semi-trucks.
Semi-trucks.
Really?
We had a trucking company and we offshoot of a dairy. So I was working like a man because I was big.
Yeah.
My sister was sick, so she was always in the house, and I was always protecting her because my father was quite abusive. Okay. Domestic violence that's why on the book too, it's domestic violence. Yeah. He beat my mother several times.
One of the memories I have, and it's in the book, is Gaylynn was about, I think she was 6, and her little sister was 3, maybe 4.
4, we're 2 years.
4, that's right. And I went out there. I went out there to just visit and play and hang out with them, but they couldn't until they would get all of their chores done. And I distinctly remember one of her chores was to use a push lawnmower and mow their, how many acres? 5?
5 acres.
5 acres of grass.
Wow.
She was 6 years old, and her younger sister, because she was sickly, had to edge the perimeter, but she had to do it with hand shears.
Oh my gosh.
She was 4.
You know what's so interesting is such a dichotomy between my parents. My dad was married 9 times.
Oh, wow.
Right. My mom never remarried after my dad.
Oh, no. After dealing with that.
My mom hated men. Hated men. And I will tell you this. I was raised by my grandmother and my mother. And at the time, I hated it because we were always, dirt poor. But I realize now, man, it was such a blessing. It really was. You know what I mean? Because we didn't have to deal with a male figure in the house. Because my mom was like, and even when men would try to date my mom didn't want no part of it.
When we were young, my mom, there's a little window of time that we were by ourselves. And my mom says her memory is that was hell because she didn't have a man in her life.
Yeah.
But it was the most peaceful time of our life. We did live on the north side. We were on welfare. We were all of that. Yeah. But we were dancing. We were happy. We were, my best memories was when we were just alone, the 3 of us. We might not have had food, but we did have shelter and we didn't have the abuse.
Yeah.
So that's more my childhood.
Got it. What are some early memories that still influence you today? Because I think we all have them.
The biggest memory that I have today is I do not allow anybody to yell at me. My father was a screamer. He would scream in our faces and yell at my mother. I don't allow any of that. And that's a memory. And I tell women, I tell people too, if I start to whisper, you should probably run.
Yeah.
Because I don't yell. I don't want any of that. My childhood was so traumatic and tragedy and abusive. My father beat my mother when she was 8 months pregnant. I had to clean up the blood.
Wow.
And the baby had died. And I mean, the abuse just continues and continues. So the memories that shaped me was that no man gets to yell at me. Yeah. No man, they all treat me with respect. Everybody gets to treat me with respect now.
Well, you already answered my next one, but
go ahead.
Let me jump ahead. What are those early struggles, or how did they shape your resilience? Because you either let that crumble you, or you take it as fuel and you move on.
Well, and as I think that now working with a lot of trauma women, that we don't take it as strength yet. We see it as programming. Yeah. We think that as love. Why? When people see me, And they'll go, oh, well, you don't understand what I'm dealing with. Well, you don't, the scar on my face that I don't fix is because I was beat to the point of almost death. They knocked my teeth out and I went back.
Wow.
So, no, it's the traumas that we have that we think that are the programming that we were shown as little kids. This is what we were shown as true love, blah, blah, blah. We realize it isn't.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I push back my childhood of what I don't want.
Got it.
The kind of mother that I don't want to be.
Yeah.
So,
No, I understand. How would you describe your relationship with faith growing up?
I didn't have any.
Yeah.
I didn't have any, but I'll tell you, there was something with me. My sister was very, very sick, and I protected her.
Is she still with us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We're tenacious women, let me tell you. You can't get us down. We come back swinging. I didn't have faith, but I always knew I had God. I had begged God. My sister was very, very sick. I was about 8 years old, and I begged him to take me. She was so much more worthy than me. She was beautiful. She was little. She needed him. I was okay to go. And that vision or dream, he allowed me to go into the casket, into everything. And then I was sort of reborn. Like I had unconditional love for everyone. And so that is when I knew God was there. I knew it.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any kind of background showing me who God was. I was raised Catholic. My parents, Portuguese Catholic, which went to church on Sunday. Gabe told the priest how,
Catequesia, Porto over there. You know what I mean?
Yes. All of that.
Yeah.
And then, but then you go back to doing whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah.
We gave our pins, did our Hail Marys, and we went back to the debauchery.
I was raised on the backside of St. Aloysius.
Oh,
right there in Tulare, right? And so, even through the years, we could always hear the bells and we could always hear what was going on. But my grandmother was so against the Catholic religion. Because in her way of thinking, if you weren't a Christian, on Saturdays, I literally had to get between my grandmother and the Jehovah Witness, right? And, and I used to have to really jump in the middle and go, hey, listen, you know what? I used to have to tell the Jehovah, you guys got to leave. My grandmother's getting pissed off. But there was many times I had to tell my mom and my grandmother, listen, you can't attack people about their religion. You just can't, right? No. I go,
that's not what Jesus has said.
Yeah. You got to let people believe in their way.
They'll
right?
get there eventually, hopefully.
And, but man, contentious, I've seen my mom cuss out a pastor because they got into an argument saying when Jesus comes back to get his people, is heaven going to be here on earth or is it going to be up in the clouds? Man, you want to talk about, I had to get in the middle of these people. And I was like, Mom, you're cussing out people over religion. Mm-hmm. I go, you cannot do that. Mm-hmm. But my mom was oaky to the bone, still is, but she's got dementia, so she's in a home, but still pistol. Obviously, faith did not come naturally to you.
It did, though.
Even
it did? With all the
okay.
chaos and everything like that, I knew he was there.
Got it.
But I don't think it was a faith that we would speak of faith today. It was you felt his presence.
Yes.
You knew.
Obviously, it developed over time.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Was there a defining moment in your life when you began to change direction? Mm-hmm. Did it all come from after your daughter, or was that even before?
The biggest catalyst of my change was when I was on life support.
Wow.
So when I was on life support, and that's where this book really goes into detail, as I was on life support looking for my daughter's body, they brought me in to die. I'm 105 pounds. I'm 145 pounds now.
Yeah.
So I'm 40 pounds lighter. They carried me in to die, and there was an angel there that performed the surgery. But when I was on life support, I believe I was so close to God because I was still pissed off.
Yeah.
My baby was gone, and he was not coming back. That I don't know if it was that I was so close to the veil of death that I could hear him so perfectly. So the doctor came back into my room 2 weeks later. You have to understand, I'm in the hospital for months at a time. It wasn't just a couple days. And he came back in, and he sat on my bed, and he scratched his head, and he said, I ran the test twice, Gaylynn. I can't find any cancer in your body. And that is when a power hit my chest, and my best friend was sitting in the room. And I said, oh my God, Reagan's coming home on 4th of July. This was back in February. And she goes, oh, no, Gaylynn, you've been through so much. I said, no, I'm cancer-free. I have to get up. I could not even get up to the restroom. People had to carry me. I said, I'm cancer-free. I have to get up. I heard him, and they all laughed. Well, my daughter was found by a Christian man that looked for her every day. We have the letter. I think the letter's in the book. And she was found on July 2nd, identified to me, and returned on July 4th, fully intact after 2 years in the water.
Wow.
So there's my other miracle. So I'm like to the point we're going, okay, I believe. How much more do I need? Yeah. So that was my huge deciding, like, you guys.
Did you have to go through like chemo and all that?
I only went through 3 rounds,
Okay.
6 rounds of chemo. And then the tumor broke through again. And on that last round, I had went in and I didn't even want to go. And the doctor said you should probably take her in. So that's whenever I left chemo and went in.
Got it.
They said that she needed 12 rounds of chemo. And on her 6th, she just couldn't do it anymore. And her 6th one, the doctor said, just go on to the hospital. And that's when they decided to do surgery.
I mean, anybody I've ever seen take chemo just says it's just a horrible process.
It's not, now I'm a wellness coach now.
Yeah.
You don't need to be doing,
Yeah.
I have a whole nother thing going. Well, the next book will be on wellness because, no.
Before everything you went through, who were you as a person?
Before everything I went through as a little girl, I think I'm that person now.
Okay.
I was always adventurous. I was always loving everybody. I brought everybody home that wasn't my relatives, from black, white, Chinese to whatever, and said they were my family. And I think I'm finally back to who God really wanted me to be. I had to endure all of this trauma from everything to being who I am now. And I believe it is who I was as a child.
Yeah. What did strength look like to you before hardship entered your life?
So you have to understand, hardship has always been in my life.
Yeah. Seems like you've kind of had this perpetual
Well,
hardship.
even as a little girl, as a child, I believe I was molested by many.
Horrible.
It's from almost like when I took my first breath, it was just nothing but hard.
Yeah.
So that I really can't answer that.
Yeah. No, I understand.
It's been hard.
Yeah. Well, again, though, but it's a testament to you, hon.
It is.
And,
I've survived things that most would have already killed themselves.
Oh,
most would have.
100%.
Most would have.
100%. How did your understanding of strength evolve over time?
My understanding of strength evolved. Because I think that we are programmed to think that strength is
Yeah.
And really, strength is about forgiveness and love and standing tall and leading like the child of God that we're supposed to be. That's the truth.
That's the change, though, because she wasn't always like that.
Oh, no, I was sizing everybody up. I'm like you. I'd be like, right when you walked in, I'm going to say, how am I going to take him out? Am I going to take him out by a knee? What am I going to do? Because I was always in defense mode. I was always protecting myself.
You know what, though? It's so, obviously, I've experienced a lot of trauma in my life, and but I'm living my best life.
Me too.
And it feels so good. I'm in the best relationship I've ever been in. Mm-hmm. This show has been so healing for me because I get to talk to cops that have experienced trauma, and even people like you that weren't cops, and just to talk about this stuff, it's transformative. Well, I walk out of here sometimes feeling like I just been in therapy.
Well, the best thing to me, what I've learned is that I don't judge people anymore. When I was, I don't know, I've never been a real big judger, but we can't judge these people that we don't know their choices that they had. Is they'll go, well, Gaylynn, why'd you do that? You're so this, you're so that. You don't know my choices I had at that time.
What's that old adage? Until you walked a mile in somebody else's shoes.
Don't be judging them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Here's a tough one.
No.
When your daughter passed, how did that moment change you?
Well, it devastated me.
I bet.
Well, it was how it changed me was I'm an alchemist. I see things and I turn it to a positive. there are mothers out there and fathers. I tend to gravitate more towards females.
Yeah, I get it.
There's mothers and fathers out there that still haven't found their children or that they know that they're being abused.
Yeah.
I knew my girl was dead, and I knew that we're just trying to find her. But it made me going, now I need to help those other mothers that their babies haven't been returned to them, or they get little snippets that they're still alive because, and bad things are happening to them. So that was probably more of a piece that she was home than being still victimized.
Yeah. You know what? I dedicated my life to protecting people, and I used my strength in the service of others. Mm-hmm. And it came at great personal loss to me in a lot of ways.
Right.
And, but I realize, I think the good Lord put me where I was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And I also know that he had his hand of protection over me because I survived so many life-threatening situations. And I realize now there was a purpose for that.
Oh,
here's something.
Okay.
What is something people don't understand about losing a child?
Ooh, they don't understand. I get this a lot because people are like, oh, you're so this book, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't understand that it never goes away.
Yeah.
If I see a Reese's peanut butter cup, that was her favorite candy. I'd send them to her every Easter with a toothbrush. Yeah. I see a Reese's, I can literally knock me to my knees.
I eat 3 of them every morning, hun. I'm
Baby,
addicted.
you are my next client. I'm getting you off that sugar and those rock stars right now. You are my next victim.
I was worried about that for you when we saw
that.
I was
like,
oh, she's going to bring that up.
No, and I love it. Yeah.
It's the temple of God. Remember that.
What did that loss take from you? And what, if anything, did it give you?
It took everything from me because that loss fragmented our family.
Yeah.
It fragmented our family because it killed, my sister's husband. It killed my daughter's best friend, and it killed my sister's friend. So on that fragmenting, and Reagan was the middle daughter. So my other daughter was on the boat as well. So my children, it fragmented our whole family, everything. So you never go back to once you've had such great loss, nothing will ever be the same.
Did it happen at Kauai?
No, hell no. It happened at Havasu.
Havasu.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
So then we had 3 different states that we had to find.
I'm sure that convoluted it.
Oh, it convoluted it. And then now you'll go into, you don't do traditional law, which you would understand that. Now you go to mariner's law. So now we had to hire somebody from Alaska that understood mariner's law.
Yes.
And then it was a drunk driver that killed her. And you can drink on a lake, but you can't drink, he would have been to prison if he would have killed her in a car.
He should have been. Well, here in California, but then again, we're dealing with a different state.
3 different
states. But here in California, they do DUIs out here at this lake all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And they should.
They should.
Well, see, and that was a big thing too, because people did know that I'm a big force, and so I had lots of mothers that had lost their children in boating accidents or something like that, thinking that I would take this to the next level. Well, they didn't realize that God had given me the biggest challenge of all was to fight for my life.
Yeah.
But I'm a fighter. He had to give me something to fight for, or I would have died of a broken heart.
Got it. How did you find the strength to keep going after that loss?
LaVonne.
Okay, that is awesome. And again,
she's right here.
And thank God you had that. Because I think probably without it, you probably wouldn't be here.
If I wouldn't have listened, honestly, if I had not listened to him telling me to go home, go. If I hadn't heard go and I would not have had that last dance with my daughter, I wouldn't have been here.
Got it. What did grief feel like in your day-to-day life?
It's horrible.
Oh,
everything.
You wake up with it, you go to bed with it.
It's
wake
a
up
whole,
with it, you go to bed with it.
The way that this woman explained it to me, she was a dear friend I traveled with from Germany. And she says, sweetheart, it's a big hole in your chest. She says, so if I can give you any bit of advice, don't fill that hole with shit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of women, they're going to go fill it full of drugs and alcohol. She goes, you're just filling it because you're so empty. And that was the best way to say it. Was I was so empty. I had this hole.
Yeah.
Then I have this crazy one over here filling my hole with God and showing me how to go positive on it instead of going to the dark side, which is Satan, which is much easier. Numbiness is to go on this way.
Yes. How did grief show up when no one else was around? Because I think that's the hard time when you're
Like
on your own. There's nobody else there.
She shows up like a big bitch. She wants to take you out at the knees.
Yeah.
And I believe grief is because, and I'm not great with the Bible. But God tells you to let the dead bury the dead and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And I believe grief could be more of a motion from Satan to hold us down instead of letting us go forward.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
So I use it more of a way of, I don't allow her in. I don't allow that. I call her the bitch grief. I'm not letting her in. I'll let her, I'll deal with it for a moment, cry over Reese's peanut butter cup, but I'm not going to let her win.
Yeah. No, you know what? And I always say this. I've said this to people before. You got to remember, the world keeps spinning.
It does.
And you know what? And I've had some people give me this crazy look when we're talking about this stuff. And I said, you still got to get up.
You do.
You still got to go to work. You got to be able to keep a roof over your head. You got to eat. You can't just wallow in grief.
Well, I
think it's just not productive.
That's what I tell a lot of the women that I work with that are struggling. No one, you got God and you. Nobody's going to tell you to go save yourself. He's going to tell you, but you got to listen. You got to set that clicker down and take those rock stars off the table. I'm going to get you on those rock stars. And
you know what? It's so funny. We used to say this all the time to people. Nobody is going to come save you.
No.
Right? And you know what? It's
a personal choice.
It is. It's 100%, honey.
Yes.
You are so right.
I am living proof that I could have been sitting being homeless, sitting in a drug addict, and having a complete numbed life. Yeah. I chose to straighten that crown of God and stand tall and help others to get back up.
Yeah.
I reach into the fire and help them.
God bless you. God bless you. Did your faith feel stronger or more distant during that time? Because I can tell you this. I bet you struggled with it. I bet you it was...
Oh, well, and
6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
The hard part was I was living at her house. So I'm overwhelmed with faith living in her house, and she would pray with me. Then I would leave and I would go on my bike rides and just scream at him.
And I think that's a natural response because
bring my baby home.
Yeah. It's like how much, there's always that quote, I ask, how much more can the Lord put on one family?
I don't want to ask that.
Yeah,
no,
you don't.
I don't ask that at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He could say, well, wait a minute here. Did you not do this lesson? Let's give you that one.
Yeah.
No.
And I think I already know the answer to this one, but were there moments when you felt completely alone in your pain?
Yes. There was a time at UCLA when I sat on the side of the bed and they had came in and, the doctor, his chin was quivering because they send in the young ones. It's a teaching hospital. And he just told me to take the morphine. It was going to get bad. And I was good with it. I sat on the side of the bed and I just prayed for death. I said, my daughter's done it. I mean, it can't be that hard. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get this show over with. Come on, take me now. Yeah. And begged for death. And then this one, I'd call her, you're not going to die. I'm going to die. You're not going to die. Yeah, she was right again. I hate when she's right. She's always right.
It was all from God. God told me she wasn't going to die. If God had said, yes, this is her time, I would have been in UCLA the whole time with her.
She didn't even come and see me.
I didn't go because God told me she was coming back to our hometown and she wasn't dying.
Wow. How did your family support you or struggle alongside you?
With what? Which one?
Let's do
back it up. Which one?
That's true.
They've abandoned me on most, so let's see.
I was going to say, you know what?
My family, the only thing that I had that was my rudder in life would have been LaVonne.
Yeah.
I mean, when I broke my back, and I broke my back in a jet skiing accident, and they told me I'd never walk again, and I had drop foot. But because of who I was, I owned a big real estate company here in Visalia, so I was big. So the doctors fed me painkillers left and right. So then that transferred over to an addiction, which she was right there again. And my family all abandoned me. Oh, she's just a drug addict. A little bit of trauma there to add to that. Yeah. And, a husband that didn't realize that I had a broken back and still make me work.
Wow.
Come on, what else else you got? Come on, give it to me.
Man, you're a warrior. You are a warrior.
I am a warrior.
Yeah. What did you need most during that season that people may not have understood?
You know what I think that most of us need during those seasons is quiet and rest. Most of us are warriors that have been through all this hell. We're tired.
Yeah.
We just need somebody to take the reins for a minute. You know, somebody like LaVonne in their life that says it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, made sure I had food, made sure I had colostomy bags.
Yeah.
You know, those are things I've never had anybody that helped me.
Yeah.
So that's having that one person that you know you're not going to go hungry.
Yeah. I agree. When you were first diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, what was your first thought?
I was pissed. I told the lady, what the F? You know, I'm still a little spicy at this time of my life. And I was in Mexico. So when I finally tapped, I was in a power yoga class, climbing mountains, climbing the ruins and everything with these. I left a 13-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 15-year-old, I think, there. I was pissed. Yeah, she's like, and Mexico wanted to do the surgery right then. And my one daughter is a nurse, and she's like, no.
Go get you a second opinion.
No, get out of that hospital and get to UCLA. We're getting you out of the country because I was in Mexico.
I always say this. If you're going through something, I think UCLA or Stanford are the two places you need to get to. I mean, because I always say this.
Well, I don't know. They sent me home to die.
Well,
well, wait a minute. Let's back that train up.
Yeah, but I've often said this. If they can't fix it, I don't think anybody can.
No, God can. Look at me.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
hello.
Yeah, that's true. But as far as clinics, I think
as
Stanford
far as
and
Western
UCLA,
medicine, I would say UCLA, and UCLA had the capability to fix me. That's the beautiful thing, is that my insurance wasn't acceptable.
Yeah, isn't that horrible?
Yeah, and that's what the doctor said. I said, well, didn't you take a Hippocratic oath?
Yeah.
And she says, we have to still pay our bills here.
Wow.
So I was worth nothing. Not to them, but not to God.
Yeah.
Here I come back swinging, I said.
Yeah. How do you even begin to process news like that? That's a lot to just throw onto somebody.
Well, especially when you're still looking for your daughter's body.
Yeah. So you're still.
So remember that little thing where you said,
yeah.
What else? What could happen?
Yeah.
That's about where I was at.
Yeah.
What is next?
Yeah.
You know, are you just trying to take me out? I've been raped. I've been beaten. I've been lied to. I've been betrayed. I've had a drug addiction. I've had molestation. I've had this. I've had broken backs. Told me I never walk again. Now I'm going to die of cancer.
Yeah.
I've been bit by a shark. I got great stories. Why did I got to go with cancer? Come on. I want to go out with something glorious.
You know, talking about being bit by a shark. We were just watching Jaws for like the 50th time. Mm-hmm. I remember when that movie came out, I wouldn't even get into the damn bathtub.
I know. It's horrible.
What does fear look like in a moment like that?
I don't know.
All right.
I look it right in the eye.
Okay, you're a badass.
What are you going to do? We're all going to die.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my clients now. We're all going to die, but I cannot promise you you're going to live.
Yeah.
So live your big, beautiful life for God.
Yeah.
Get up.
Yeah.
So no, I look at it in the eye and say, come on, what do you got?
Good for you. Did you ever question why this was happening to you?
Many times.
Yeah.
And I didn't just say why it was happening to me. I think I used a few words, specific words in there. But yes.
Yeah. How did you wrestle with those questions internally? Because I think here's the problem with most people. What do? We just, you can almost drive yourself nuts.
That's probably my gift. I don't overthink. I don't want to know what tomorrow brings. I've lived really like Jesus told us to. The past is behind you. You're not going to change it.
No.
You're not going to change anything. The future, we don't even know. Like I tell my clients now, my daughter thought it was just a boat ride.
Yeah.
We don't know when our time is up. So you better be kind to everybody, better love everybody, but don't dwell in it either.
I agree. What kept you fighting when everything felt stacked against you?
Remember, I've been fighting since I took my first breath.
Yeah. I think, honestly, hon, I think you've experienced probably more trauma than I've talked to face to face.
I bet I have.
I think you have.
I'm pretty much say I probably have.
No, and it's a real testament to you. Like, honestly, I can honestly tell you this. It's an honor to be in the room with somebody of your caliber.
Well, thank you.
And
thank you.
And
don't make me cry. I'm trying hard. I got mascara, and you don't have mascara on.
I know. I'm the one wearing the mascara, but it is. It's like I just picked up on that from you immediately, and it's just. I hope if I'm ever in your situation, I hope I handle it the way that you did.
I hope you do too.
Who are you, or who or what became your anchor in those moments?
Ta-da! Can we shine the light on over here?
Yeah. And you know what? And that was a true gift for you, because I think there's just so many people that have to go through this stuff alone. And I think it's enough to drown most people.
And that is where God brought me back. I sit with the broken, and I can sit with almost anything. What do you, like I say, whenever I tell you truthfully, when I sit with homeless people, and I'll sit with them, say, if you mess with me, I'm going to kill you. You don't know who I really am. You know, I have both sides. But I will help you. I will sit right in the thick of it and listen and hold space, because that's the biggest thing, is what she does for me. She lets me talk.
Yeah.
Lets me let it get it out. And, you know, most people don't really want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
You know, she lets me, I'm a little frustrated at me, but lets me talk. And that's what I do for other women and men, to sit down and just hear their story, because
it's healing.
It goes back to, usually it'll go back to their childhood.
Yeah, it is. It's healing.
It is.
What role did faith play in your healing journey?
I'm still here. It played everything. Yeah. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And I believe that he didn't let me get to where I was until I was on life support.
Yeah.
So I would have this crazy story to come forward with these women that really knew me from before, going, who, what? She's, you know, cocaine, alcohol, making money, doing all this stuff. And now listen to her. She's very humble. Well, as humble as I can be. Stop it. As humble as I could be.
Hey, I think you're a lot of things,
but I'm not very humble.
You ain't humble, hon. You ain't humble.
Okay, as humble as I can be. But, yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, do you know this? My ego is as big as this building, okay, because of all the things I've done. I struggle with being humble. Well, I truly do. It's one of the things I struggle with.
The thing, too, is humbling is like not having any food. Like, I've been there. I've picked up Coke bottles for food.
Yeah.
I've been there. So I've been humbled, but you didn't, but my ego, I think my ego has died now. It's just, I live for God, because I tell everybody, this is the glory of God. You know, I thought it was all Gaylynn, Kapri. It's not. It's the glory of God.
But you've been humbled. You said it perfectly. You've been humbled.
I've been
many times throughout your life.
Yeah.
But having a humble personality is really not your thing.
Yeah. Were there moments where you felt God's presence in a real and undeniable way?
That was on life support.
Yeah.
I mean, I could hear that voice to this day.
So on life support, I mean, that means you're almost on death's door.
That's what I say. I believe it was the veil of death, that I was so close that I could hear him so crystal clear to get up.
Yeah.
That's why the book.
Get up.
And and then what was interesting too is to go to some of the church services, and Jesus does not tell you kindly. He is telling people to get up.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was at a church service with one of my friends, and he's like, look at the message that you heard. I'm like, yeah, he's telling us all to get up.
Yeah.
I said, those were the exact words I heard.
Yeah. What does courage mean to you now compared to when you were going through all that stuff?
It's courage is more peaceful now.
Good.
It's peace.
You know what? And honestly, as you're talking, I can sense peace from you. Mm-hmm. And that is that right there is healing just to be around, because I could tell you this. I think there's a lot of people that would be angry and you know, pissed off at the world. And I don't get that sense from you at all.
No, no, I'm not angry. I'm not pissed. I'm humbled.
Yeah.
As humbled as can be, but I'm peaceful. And that's what, even I'm in the midst of just about to get married, and I told him, you will never steal my peace.
Good for you.
And don't ever yell at me.
And well, you know what? Me and my wife, we do not raise our voices at each other. It's the game changer in our home. And this will be husband number
3, and he just wrote the book Game Changer.
Okay.
That's so funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. How did your perspective on life change through suffering?
My perspective on life that's changed through suffering has been that it's no reason to suffer.
Yeah.
God always provides. This time that I lived in fight or flight, not worried that I didn't have 2 pennies to rub together for food, and I've given my money away to help somebody that didn't have money for food and knew that he would provide. I've always been provided for. And that's what when I look back on my life going, man, that guy was right there with me the whole time. You know, and that's the big epiphany, I would say, is that I don't live in fight or flight. I know he's going to provide.
Well, and you know what? I was asking about your marriages. I've been married 4 times to 3 women. One was so nice, I married her twice.
You know, that's pretty common too, you know. That's a common thing. No, I say the first one didn't count because I was too young. The second one, I was married a long time. And then,
but you know what? My wife now, I wish I mean, we've been together for 7 years, and I wish I would have met her a long time ago. But she always says this. She says, we met when we were supposed to.
We do. Yeah.
And, you know, well, I just don't want to reach my dad's level, you know, 9 marriages.
No, I don't want to do that one.
Don't do that.
What did you learn about yourself through all of this?
I learned that I'm resilient.
Yeah.
I learned that I am a force. I have been told I was a force since I was a little girl, and I do understand my power now.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What parts of you were strengthened that you didn't even know existed?
My discipline.
Yeah.
I would say it was the discipline. I'm very disciplined on my food, on my exercise, on my love for God. I was always a little more chaotic and, you know, just wasn't all that disciplined.
Got it. How did you respond when LaVonne wanted to tell your story?
Well, I was okay.
Oh, no, wait, hold on. Okay, it wasn't me. She's the one who wanted.
I always have these great ideas.
Yeah.
Great ideas. Oh, let's write a book. Well, I don't, she's tenacious and she takes everything to a whole nother level. I didn't think anybody was going to hear my story. I just thought we were going to write a book. I could be done with it and shut her up and I could go about my life. No, I had no idea what we were getting into.
Yeah.
And it's just starting.
Yeah.
So.
Well, honestly, I hope this book gets as big as whatever you ladies want to get it. Because
it's as big as God wants it to be.
Yeah.
It is. It's.
Was it difficult to let someone share your most painful experiences?
Yes, I had went through a couple of times, like she said, the waffling, going round and round, where I wanted her to write it, but because I knew it was going to help so many people, but I was still living in shame. You know, there was rapes, there was abortions, there was this, there was that. People had seen me in a business level that they didn't know any of that existed. They didn't know that I had a drug problem. They didn't know that I had this problem because I was always Gaylynn Kapri. I sat on boards. I did this. I did that. They didn't know that.
But you know what, though? I always say this. When you confront your past like that and you put it out, it no longer has any power.
Doesn't have a hold on you.
Yeah.
You let it all go.
Yeah. What does it feel like hearing your life told through someone else's voice?
Holy shit. Excuse my language. I look at it going, oh my God. Oh my goodness. I did that. Oh, yeah. And there's only a tad bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, because honestly, if we told your whole life story,
oh my goodness.
This thing
For
would
one,
be
it'd be this thick.
Yeah.
We have reference numbers. What trauma do we need to look up today?
Did telling your story bring healing? Or did it reopen wounds?
Probably a both.
Yeah.
Let's say both.
I can see
because
that.
it would open wounds. And it still does open wounds. Because to be, when she picked me up on the border and to be raped by a man and have to tell him you love him so he doesn't kill you.
Wow.
And that was my...
that's a heavy story right there.
On a Mexican border.
Yeah.
I was brought into a Mexican border and he was a taxi cab driver. So... took me to a room for the night and abused me and then took me to the next morning. But I had to tell him I loved him. It was more of my you understand it. My street smarts.
Correct.
I know street smarts. I can read a room better than anybody.
Yeah.
That street smart. I knew to tell that man I loved him and not to fight it. Or I would have been just another, she would have never found me. I would have been dead somewhere in Mexico.
Got it. What do you hope people truly understand when they hear your story?
That they can get up.
I agree.
That there is nothing stopping them but themselves.
Yeah.
Nothing is stopping you but yourself.
I think a lot of people submit to fear.
Oh, and how 365 times it's in the Bible. Zero fear, no fear.
Yeah.
Stand up, get up. He's telling you.
Yeah.
We just don't listen.
I agree. What does forgiveness look like in your life today?
You don't even understand the people I have had to forgive.
Yeah.
It's my peace.
Yeah. Good for you, hon.
Yeah, I forgave you. I was just a little girl.
Yeah.
I have forgiven you for your poor choices. They were not my choices.
Got it. What does getting up mean to you personally?
It is, if I could tattoo it on my forehead, I would.
Yeah.
It is everything to me.
Yeah.
It is everything, and it should be everything to everybody.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the only person that has had some tragedies in their life, but I choose not to numb it.
I agree.
I face it. I walk through it. As people understand, a buffalo. A buffalo walks through their storm because it's over with faster.
Correct.
So I used that to this one lady that I was mentoring that had lost her son. Said, you can continue to drink and stay right here. Be a buffalo. Walk through your storm sober, and then we get to the other side a little faster.
I agree. Here's a tough one.
No, come on.
All right. How do you let go of pain without pretending it didn't happen?
You don't.
Yeah.
You let it go because it no longer serves you.
I agree.
If you're going to sit and hold on to that pain, then you're not doing what Jesus told you to do. Jesus told you, don't look back, go forward.
Yeah.
So if you're holding on to it, you're just dealing with Satan.
I agree. Were there moments when staying down felt easier than
Hell
rising again?
yes.
Yeah.
I could stay down, do a little drug, stay and drink a beer, come on, go fishing. Hell, it was much easier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or run away to a different country. Oh, I love to run away. That's the easiest part.
Yeah.
$40 a passport, I'm out of here.
Oh, awesome. Well, and you know what? And that right there is a gift too, because guess what? A lot of people don't have the courage to do that.
Oh, no, I'll
You know
take
what
off
I
her
mean?
for
Yeah.
She wants my passport half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to confiscate it. She's a runner. She's a runner.
What gave you the strength to stand back up?
All right, this one.
Got it.
Don't have your head too big that you can't get out of the room today, okay? Okay.
Yeah. How has your relationship with God changed through all of this?
Well,
Can I say she has her own bat phone?
All right.
I have
love it.
my own bat phone. And it's just understanding that the people that actually look up to me.
Got it.
And I didn't see that before. So I really, really try hard to lead by example.
God bless you. I love it. I love that. I love it because I just think, well, I know this. I know that this story, I know it's going to resonate with just even one person, hun.
Mm-hmm.
What does healing look like for you? Not just physically, but spiritually.
Well, healing looks like to me spiritually is the glow you get.
Yeah.
You get a glow about you that you don't have any more fear.
Yeah.
You live with your shoulders back, your head held high. You know you're a child of the
Damn
Most
right.
High. You sit and you look at the world from above now, and you can look down going, oh my goodness.
Yeah. What would you say to someone walking through deep loss right now?
Be a buffalo.
Okay.
Walk forward.
Yeah,
Hand in hand with God. You might not have anybody there, and nobody's coming to save you.
I get it. No, 100. What does redemption mean in your life?
Everything.
Okay. And last but not least, when people hear your story, what do you want it to stand for?
Power. Power for God.
I agree.
Power, determination, and zero fear. That's what I want them to understand. The fear is only programming. We are born with no fear. Why are you holding on to all that?
I love that. I love it.
Are you bothered by leg veins of any size, or is leg swelling or pain bugging you or someone you know, I would recommend that you make an appointment with our friends at Sequoia Vein and Wound to take care of it. With a friendly bilingual staff and their years of experience, they are happy to help resolve those issues. Give them a call to get a consult at 559-713-6478 and tell them that Jay Mac sent you.
All right, ladies, we're going to go into a lightning round. It's going to be
Love lightning rounds.
quick.
Go ahead.
Here we go. And I'm going to go, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and forth.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, one word that describes your faith today.
Powerful.
One word that describes your journey so far.
Perseverance.
What has been your hardest moment of your life?
The loss of my daughter.
What moment tested your faith the most?
Watching Gaylynn suffer through cancer and losing her daughter.
What did you feel God's presence the strongest? When did you feel that?
When I was on life support and heard him.
When did you feel completely alone?
In the waiting room.
Got it. What is something grief taught you that nothing else could?
That I could get up.
What is one truth about grief people often misunderstand?
That God is there waiting for them.
What Bible verse do you lean on when life hurts?
Which one do I use, LaVonne? I have so many.
How about you?
Say it again.
What Bible verse do you lean on when life hurts?
Romans 15:13.
And that says?
It's about having hope and grace
Got it.
and joy.
What does that verse mean to you personally?
That God is always with us and that he is going to be there when we need him the most at any given time. And he is the provider of all joy, hope, and grace.
Was there a time you almost lost hope?
Absolutely.
Got it. What pulled you back from that place? Yeah.
Faith.
Okay.
LaVonne.
And me.
Yeah. What keeps you going when everything feels heavy?
Prayer.
Are you stronger now or simply different?
Both.
Okay. How has your definition of strength changed?
It hasn't.
Okay. Do you believe everything happens for a reason?
I believe there's no coincidences.
Okay. How has your perspective on that question evolved?
That there's no coincidences?
Yeah.
Everything is aligned for a reason to get
Okay.
you to where we're all trying to get home. He's
Got it.
trying to show us our lessons on the way home.
Got it. What scares you more, loss or uncertainty?
Loss.
Why do you think that fear holds so much weight?
I don't know. I don't have it.
Got it. Man, I love that. Have you ever been angry at God?
Yes.
Okay. If so, what did that season teach you?
To continue to rely on him. He has the answers for us. We just have to find them. We have to seek him first.
What helped you forgive when it felt impossible?
God.
Okay. What role does forgiveness play in healing today?
I think that forgiveness, if you don't have forgiveness, you can never heal.
Yeah, because I think you're holding on to it.
Correct.
Yeah. What is one thing suffering revealed about your character?
That I was tenacious.
What did suffering strip away from your life?
Suffering,
Yeah.
I don't think it's stripped anything away, honestly.
Got it. What does healing actually feel like, not just look like?
It's a glow.
Yeah.
It's a vibrant glow that you have, that you are full of God's glory.
Got it. Do you believe pain can have purpose?
Yes.
Have you ever seen that purpose play out in your own life?
Yes.
Okay. What moment during Get Up broke your heart the most?
When Gaylynn had to take breaks because she was reliving all of the trauma.
Got it. What moment during that book brought unexpected healing?
Seeing it all put together, and that I'll tell you, I was so afraid. It was seeing the reviews
Yeah. Yeah.
that I had made, we had made a difference.
Yeah.
That all this pain wasn't for anything. Wasn't
Damn
for
right.
nothing.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
What moment during the book brought unexpected healing for you?
Being able to honor Gaylynn and her story.
Got it. What does get up mean to you in one sentence?
Resilience and power.
Got it.
Determination.
I love
I
it.
don't know if that's a full sentence.
No, but it's good. What habit helps your faith grounded daily?
Prayer, daily
Okay.
devotion, reading my Bible.
What is something you had to let go of in order to grow?
Almost everything.
Okay.
God, he strips you away from it all, especially my materialism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be very materialistic, was raised that way.
Got it.
Now I don't.
You don't care about all that.
No.
What is a lie people believe about strong women?
That strong women are unapproachable
Yeah.
and hard and cold.
Okay. What truth would you replace that lie with?
What truth I would place what lie with?
What's a lie that society thinks about strong women?
Oh, well, my big truth is alpha females are not born, we're created.
Yeah.
Because we had to stand up. So we get this reputation. I've been told I'm an alpha female most of my life.
No, you are.
I know.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because God didn't create me to be an alpha female. It was society created that. So when we learn to let that alpha female go, that he's really in control, that we're not in that flight or fight anymore. So we don't tend to be, I don't feel like I'm an alpha female anymore.
Yeah.
I let my soon-to-be husband lead, which
Got
I
it.
never let that happen before either. But
I can see that in you.
no,
I really
I'm
could.
going to whip on his ass. I'm going to show him how to do it. So anyway, I put the whip away and I'm a little more peaceful.
Yeah. What is one thing lost changes forever?
Say that again.
What is one thing that lost changes forever?
Your reality.
Yeah. What is one thing loss can never take from you?
It'll never take your peace and your soul, your determination. You can strip me of everything. You're not going to take my soul and my power.
Love it. What holds a family together during tragedy?
Faith.
Okay. What tends to break families apart in those same moments?
No faith.
Okay. Do you believe God speaks through suffering?
Yes.
If so, how have you heard him in those moments?
Watching him speak through Gaylyn's life and the suffering that she has endured.
Got it. Can you recall a moment you witnessed something you'd call a miracle?
I am a miracle. What are you talking about?
I agree. I agree.
The miracle of life, of me, I've been told I was going to die. I've been told I would never walk again. I've been told all of these things from humans when God already knew where I was going.
Awesome. What is something you wish people said more often to grieving families?
I think just not so much saying anything, just being there to listen.
Yeah. Yeah. What is something you wish people would stop saying altogether to people that are grieving?
Time heals everything.
Yeah.
That just pisses me
Yeah,
off. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
time will never bring back my daughter, and you don't understand it. Until you've lived it, don't repeat that saying.
Yeah.
Because all of us are at a different time zone, too. Some women can get over it fast. Some women can't.
Yeah.
It comes back. Time does not heal everything. Time allows it to mend, but it's not going to heal it.
Got it. What is one word that describes Gaylynn?
She loves the word tenacious.
Yeah.
I would say that's,
I would agree with that.
yeah.
What makes that one word the right one?
Because she is tenacious. Yeah. She's, yeah.
What do you hope your legacy will be?
Power. Showing women that they have the power.
I get it. What do you want people to feel when they hear your story?
That they're not alone.
When life knocks you down, what helps you get back up?
Me.
Yeah.
Faith, prayer.
Okay. Last one. If someone listening is barely holding on, what would you say to them in one sentence?
Get up.
Okay.
Get up and give it to God.
Yeah.
Surrender. That's the biggest thing. My message is that I tried to control everything. I thought I could control all my dramas. I could run from it. I could do this. I could placate it. I could drink it away. I could take a couple Xanaxes and it'd all go away. No, it would all come back.
Yeah.
So to deal with it, face it like a buffalo, walk through it and be done with it.
I agree. I have a quote for you.
Oh no, you're choking up.
I am.
Okay, get the tissues out.
An author writes what she believes. A speaker declares what she has lived. And a publisher protects the stories that need to be told. Faith is what ties all three together.
Who said that? That's amazing.
That's
us.
really good.
When I read that today, I thought of you.
Thank you.
And Gaylynn, I got one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Your story didn't end in the valley. It was forged there. Every tear, every trial, every moment you thought you wouldn't make it is proof that you already did. You got up, you kept going, and you let your faith turn your pain into purpose.
Amen.
When I read that today,
Remember, you're not wearing mascara.
I know.
Stop this.
When I read that today, I thought of you.
Thank you.
And, well, ladies, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I'm just going to say this to you guys. I knew this was going to be an emotional episode. I love what you're doing. I love the message of the book. I love everything about you two ladies. I would be honored to be one of your family members. I think you guys are both
Not mine. Mine's pretty crazy. We're going to go over on this side, okay?
But I just, it's an honor to be around people of your caliber. That's really what I think. And so before we wrap up, is there anything you would like to say?
I don't think so. Do you, Gaylynn? No.
Gaylynn? Okay.
Just that it was been a pleasure and
It
an
has been
honor
a
to get
pleasure
our
and
word
an
out and message out there for others.
Well, it was an honor, ladies. It really was. And this episode has hit me in a way that I wasn't expecting. But, well, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I'll leave you with the quote I always give you. Good luck, God bless, and Godspeed, and keep watching. See you next week.